500 uploads for me. Okay, the intro, is it too loud? I wanted to go big. Maybe I went too big. I want some feedback on that. All right, and actually I'm going to talk about the setup, right? I want to talk about 667 right in the beginning, okay? Guy and Kakashi together. Okay, this is an amazing combination right here. It says at the very end of this chapter, forbidden technique with Guy, 8 gates, what else? It did have a question mark on there, so we kind of... The next thing is Kakashi. Okay, get to see his mouth, whatever he's going to unmask and show whatever the world that is. And that's been masked like since he was a kid, right? And even Obito said, you talk too much for someone that hides your mouth. So there's something there. The flashback, okay, real quick. Guy was the life of the party in this thing. The only panel I really liked there was the one where Guy flew in, right? The rest of it, it wasn't necessary. Although it does tie in with oddly enough, the filler is actually actually very enjoyable, showing the past, and it's kind of in link. It's the same time frame. So that was interesting. And I would check out, believe it or not, the filler. And I don't watch the anime as a rule, except for this filler. Believe it or not, a filler arc came back. So anyway, it is filling in a lot of stuff, literally. All right, the next thing, let's do a Bijou check on Obito. Okay, he's got half a chroma for Naruto, and the two parts that Madara said that he was able to get a piece of, all right, is the Hachibi for B, okay, and the one tails for Gaara. So kind of convenient. Obito did this time get what he needed. So he did a pretty good job there, believe it or not. And Kakashi said, "Don't screw it up, Obito." So that was a pretty good line. Now the flashbacks, I already talked about that. The intro, already talked about that. Now Madara, his new levels of hubris, and hubris it's an old Greek term. It doesn't just mean arrogance, but it's basically arrogance that leads to a downfall. Okay. And he was so arrogant that he thought that he knew. He's like, okay, I see the strategy of Obito and Kakashi, and he didn't. He didn't see what they actually were going to actually really work together. He didn't see that. And of course, considering that they hadn't actually worked together since they were kids, he probably didn't think that was much of a factor. But he was fooled then. He's also kind of been fooled by Obito's betrayal, although he probably thinks everybody's going to betray him. So he's not as smart as he would like to think, although he's pretty close. That's what's the scary part. He is pretty close to being his arrogant self. He actually is pretty freaking awesome, and actually spinning up the very tools that are getting ready to get used on him. So that's going to be pretty interesting. And it's going to be interesting who else comes in to help. But Guy and Kakashi together, come on. This is going to be amazing. All right, that's going to go ahead and be the end of this. Also, one other thing is how the eye thing is going to sort out. Okay, because if Obito dies there, is he going to give Naruto and although, I mean, I don't know. There's still a lot that can happen with the eyes and Kakashi, and how is he able to use the powers that you get the idea. There's still a lot. There's a lot to talk about in the Hangout. There's a whole lot more. Actually, this was a pretty good chapter for discussion, in my opinion. There are a lot of little pieces that we can talk about if we want to. All right, and oh yeah, and the Hangouts, real quick. I'm going to close this out. Is you have to get the Google. You have to get the plug-in, and you have to get it worked out before you can get into the Hangouts. If you want to get into the Hangouts, you have to leave comments so that I know that you've actually got something that you're gonna that you've really thought about these chapters. You're gonna have something to contribute when you come in, and that's the way that's the way it works. That's the way the Hangout works. And there's a limit of 10 people, and sometimes I try to get 10, and sometimes I invited 10 people, actually 11 people, and then I filled in, but I want to make sure I don't invite more than 10 people because somebody said they definitely were going to come. So for the Hangouts, because that's the max for the Hangouts. So and we didn't even get half that many people to actually get in. And so if you're frustrated, you're trying. At least half the people that are in have been very frustrated with it initially, but that's the process that you have to go. Make sure that if you have multiple accounts, you'll be like your real name and then another name that's different. And your invite may go in one box and in the other, and that's just the way it works out. Anyway, let's go ahead and close this video out. This actually was pretty good timing here. All right. Oh, and one more last thing. So I've got 500 uploads, right? And that puts me in a little over 1,000 subscribers. So that means at the pace that I'm going right now, if I'm going to get 1 million subscribers, I only have to get 499,500 more videos uploaded to get 1 million subscribers. Anybody can be an anime fan. Until next time, take care.